Hello everyone, how are we all doing today? A really exciting day because we are going to start our new Melodies of Nature journal project. I know that lots of you have been sending me messages and emails about how excited you are, and I don't deny that I'm just as excited as you are. So we're going to make a start on that. Now, before I get into it, I just want to reassure everybody that I will be doing a flip through of the fairy journal, but also I haven't forgotten about the timeless travel journal. So I will try and get some time to finish the little details that were left on those and share that with you. All right. And also, if you were one of the people that were very disappointed about not receiving or being able to purchase one of the Melodies of Nature Ultimate bundles, then this is your opportunity, because I do have a few left in my shop if you're still interested. All right, so I think that's all the admin. We can get to it. Right, so here's your invitation. We're making a start today, as I said, on that Melodies of Nature journal. I promise you this is probably going to be one of the most exciting ones we ever make, and definitely a keepsake for somebody special, or most importantly yourself, because you are the most important person in your life. I hope you know that. Right, so let me start at the beginning. I'm going to start with the journal pages. The journal pages are 14 sheets of paper, and these I do usually put them in the order that I show you. I can't remember if I've messed them up from the last time, but here they are. These are what we're going to use for our journal signatures. Okay, so we'll put 7 in each. I have printed on the back. That's what I'm going to show you quickly. If this is going too fast for you, please just pause and make a note, or whatever it is that you need to do, because I don't want to spend too much time doing that. All right, so here's the very first page in that folder. Love these little wrens. And then on the back of that, I've got the light blue French type stripes. Okay, so that's that one. I'm going to just move this along. The next one is this lovely page here with the vase of flowers. I'm trying to pick up the individual element that might be specific for that page so that you can make a note. So the one with the vase and the stamp. On the back of that, we've got the green. Right. Then over here, the beautiful stream with the love, well, they're blue tits, but the bird's loving a lovable couple at the top there. And then we've got the French toil in the gold. And then we've got the bridge here with all the little birds in the little nest with baby birds, the chicks, and we've got the blue toil on the back. Here's the water bath. We've got the green lovely pattern there, and then we've got the old tree stump with the butterflies and the birds bathing in the little puddle there. We've got the blue version of that. All right. Then we've got the promenades of nature, so the dances of nature with a robin on the post there, and that's got this yellow ditzy pattern. I think this is the neutral version actually. Yeah, because I've got a darker yellow version of that. And then we've got the blue version with a wheelbarrow. Okay, the ditzy pattern. Here are the foxes, the fox family and the hare family, and we've got the lovely brambles on the back, and then we've got the hedgehog and the mice families, and we've got this beautiful rose pattern on the back, blue rose. Then you've got your writing pages, and I think there are 4 of these. So you've got the robin on the post, right, that one has the collage on the back, yeah, with all the robins. Then we've got this little, I think that's a coal tit, and the squirrel, and that's got the other one of those. So there were 2 of these. All right, this one's got more robins, this one's got more of the other birds. Okay, then the writing page with the butterflies and the birds, we've got this page, which I absolutely adore, this page, with all the characters in the woodland. And then the last one here, it's got like a greeny tinge, is just loads of birds on that one. All right, so those are your 14 pages. When I see you next time, we will split those up and I'll show you how they all go together, which makes it much easier. All right, so we'll have 2 signatures. We'll divide this up. The way I've printed them, it's set up to split them out that way. All right, so that's your first one. I'm going to put that up at the top. Right, now additional pages that I have gathered to go in here are as follows. Now guys, if you've bought a printed kit from me, this has already been done for you. All right, so you will have these pages with the printed patterns on the back, and you will have everything that I'm showing you with regards to the paper kits. All right, so in the paper packs, I do give you a single sheet printed and double-sided printed. These are the double-sided printed pages I'm referring to, and there's just a couple I've taken out which I will be adding in different ways into that journal signature. All right, so we've got the bramble page. I'm calling it the bramble page, and then the thorny rose duck egg blue page. I'm just making these up as I go. As again, both sides they're printed, they're going into the signatures. We've got the bird page, both sides, the butterfly page, love that page, so 4 of those. And then I've just gathered the 2 stripe, well they're 3 stripe pages, but the green and the blue, which I'm going to put in there just to break it up a bit. Okay, so those are the 6 pages I'm going to use from the background pages. All right, so there's that. We've also got the altered music book pages. These are 6 pages, and again you would have had them printed on both sides. The way I do this is I print the 6 pages, they come out like that. I put them back into my printer. This is how my printer works, guys. I don't know how yours does. And then I print that same file again, and it prints the one from the bottom onto the top. All right, so my printer prints from the bottom to the top, and it does it so that I start with a file that, for example, sorry, I've turned it over. This page here is the first page, and the page that prints on the back is the last page. All right, and that's how I do it. It's as simple as that. So I've got these 6 pages. I've trimmed off the strip off the edge. We are going to add 3 of each to our signatures as well. All right, so there's that. Then then I've got something I thought you might want to add. This is not a must, but I just had this and I thought it looked perfect, so I've gathered it. These are my Edith Holden pages, which I've had for years now, 7 years. It sounds like forever, but 7 years is quite long in journal making. I've grabbed a few that went really well, and I was looking more for the ones that had a woodland feel more than a garden feel, if you know what I mean. So I've taken page 90. This is from the, let me show you, the Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. All right, so that's what it is, Edith Holden. And I think I got these long ago, but I usually pick them up off eBay, Amazon, or something like that. All right, you can get them all over the place. Okay, so this is page 90. I quite like that to go in with the colors and everything. It's got a little bit of purple there, that's all right. Just love that. And it's got a bird on the back. Whatever I don't like, so there's nothing I don't like there, but you know, it's a great one. And then I'm not sure which of these I'm going to use, but one of them. This one's page 56. I've taken it out of the signature by snipping those little spine where it's sewn in. Right, so this is page 56. It goes on to page 70. So it's got these cute little birds. Love that with the nests, because it is a lot of birds in there. This is a chaffinch's nest and eggs. Beautiful. So it's either that one or this one. This one is page 110. Lovely wildflowers. This is the middle, and then that's the other side. I might go with those two. Actually, we'll see. All right, so I'm just going to put one page in each signature. You can add more if you don't have any of these. I mean, you can just do whatever you like, but I'm just showing you where I'm going with it. All right, so I think, oh, one more. Now, I do print out a set of single-sided printed journal pages. They're also in your printer kit if you have them. Often I cut from this to make projects for the journal, so I have got that ready. And I do have my background pages, the remainder of the double-sided, and a set of the single-sided printed, which we are going to use together to make our little projects. All right, now there's just one extra bit here. Let's put this over there. One extra bit I have printed especially for this, and that is I am going to put in a couple of these. So I have just printed 4 double-sided pages of my lace because it just works perfectly. It is a vintage themed journal. And then I've got some tea stain pages. I've printed 4. I'm going to see how I go with putting them in. I might only put in 1 of each, but I'm aiming to put 2 of each of these. So that's what I've done there. This is a digital or printed kit in my shop. You know I use it all the time. All right, now just as a little thank you and a freebie, because I like to do freebies, I've got a freebie for you for today. Isn't that exciting? We are going to use this freebie in our next journal journal making video for this project. All right, so here it is. 3 pages, just 3. I've got another one of these little collage pages. This one's got a little bird's nest, water bath. It's different from the others, but I thought I'd give that to you as a little freebie. Beautiful. Then I've got a mushroom page, which also is very much a woodland thing. I don't know if you can see, but it's got a lovely background with all these sort of botanical shadowed plants there. All right, and then the last one is this. All right, so we are going to use this next week to make our a project. So cut this out and hold on to those 2. All right, how's that? You can grab this at in my website shop, angelakerrdesigns.com. The link is in the description box below this video. Alternatively, if you are a member of my Facebook group, you can pick that up in the files tab as a member. All right, it's free, whether you're on my website shop or in my Facebook group, and you'll be able to get it as a US size or an A4 size. All right, so there we go. That's the freebie I'm offering you guys today. So there we are, lots going on here. All right, now homework. Always have to have homework. Now, I've shown you what to do with the background pages and what to gather, and the journal pages, of course, and everything that we're going to use to make up those signatures, which we will do next week. And well, sorry, on Friday. And then what you need to do with the rest of the kit. Well, here it is. This took me a whole day to do. It was very relaxing. I'm not quite finished, if I'm honest. I've got 4 more sheets to cut out, but I'm going to do that after this. Right, so you want to cut out all your add-on kit, so all your envelopes, your pockets, your tags, all of that lovely stuff. It's all in here. Okay, so there's the pockets, different pockets and everything. And then of course you want to cut out your ephemera, so that with the tags, sorry, just going back to that, you've got 4 different sizes of tags here. 4 different ones, and lots of different types of pockets and things. All right, so we've got everything that we could possibly need. And then of course the add-on kit. Now with these, I just back them onto that same cream paper. I use it every time because it's perfect to write on and it gives it a vintage feel. So I love that. There's the large tags. All right, and then I've done the same with all the ephemera. So there's lots of ephemera in here. I think it's 19 sheets of paper, and lots of beautiful quotes and things. I have got it all cut out here. I've also, this bit here comes from the strips that we are going to use. I've got lots of little sentiments, lots of little cards, smaller, all different sizes. They all are in here. All right, so I've done my homework. I need to just go and ink everything. Beautiful little botanical cards. I've tried to get as many sizes as possible so that I can cover whatever I need to do and get as creative as I possibly want to. All right, so there's that side of things. I then went and used my standard little plastic boxes. If you're wanting to know where I get these, guys, everything I have is in my Amazon favorite tools kit. I have links for that down at the bottom of the description box if you're interested. It tells you where all the details about them rather than me talking about it. So these are your little tear strips. I've cut those out. All the little collage pieces, I've got them all cut out. They're all ready to go, which makes it so easy when you're ready to sit down and craft, especially when time is of the essence. Here's the rest of these. I've put them in a separate container. They're all cut out, ready to use, which is fab. What I haven't finished is my leaves. So the little leaves, they're going to go in there. I've only cut out one so far. So that is going to go in there. Lovely to decorate with those. And then I'm almost done with that. And then the flowers. Yeah, and then it's the other one is the faux washi. That's the other one. All right, so that's what I need to do still, but I've cut out the tags, the circles, lots of circle sizes there. Our little tabby bits, I'll put these in here, and then my other fussy cuts. So this is all the fussy cuts in here, and they're loads, and I love using these. All right, so lots of homework for you there, but it's very relaxing homework. I had a fun time cutting all of that out. Okay, now of course, the other thing that you want to gather, let me just get this off here, are your ribbon and lace pieces. So I've got all my lace and ribbon pieces here, the freebies. So you've got your little flowers, your trim, and I've used my elastic, but I'll share that with you next week. All right, so that's everything that you need over here. I have gathered flowers, so there they are. I've got the light blue, the sea blue. I've got all the flower bits over there, so I'm going to use those and use these bits with them as well. And then your fabric piece. This is beautiful fabric. I want to make a tablecloth from it. Lots of things from it. All right, so there's our fabric piece for our cover. So that's, and I have made the cover, and I can't wait to show it to you. So we're going to look at that next. The decoration on the top is amazing. All right, so that's everything. This is your ultimate bundle, excluding the flowers, of course. So if you haven't got one and you were wanting one, there are some there. All right, now hang on to the bags. I've got this one's for the fabric, and there's some other bags. We are going to use the bags. All right, 2 of the bags. Let me put that over there. Right, the next thing is people often ask me what am I going to use for die cuts. Now for the die cuts themselves, I tend to store mine in colors. So when it comes to this, I just take out the colors. This yellow, and I'll tell you the color of it now. So just my florals and greenery, that's really what we're doing. So I've got florals here, the blues, the yellows and the greens. That's really what I'm going to be doing. I will be adding some of this sort of ochre color as well. All right, so just whatever botanicals you have and greenery. I need to up my greenery there. This color I think is called Honey. All right, I think this one was Honey from the Bee collection I used. So I just wanted a little bit of that. This particular one is one I use often. It's called Chiffon. This is all basil cardstock, but anything you have that's similar would work. This is one I use all the time called Aloe Vera, also basil. These are all basil. Here's the Ocean Breeze, which is the light blue. I've got one that, this one's slightly turquoisey, slightly. And then this one here is called Star Mist. All right, that's more powder blue. And then I've got one that's slightly darker, just for a bit of accent here and there. and that one is called Wildberry Pie. All right, so those are the ones that I'm going to use that go with this, really. Okay, so if you're wondering, that's what I'm doing. Okay, I did mention about grabbing some bags, so these are 2 of the bags. Any of the bags, I didn't, for the second one I did similar bags, but maybe not this one, and use the robin one. It doesn't matter, you just want to grab 2 of these bags. We're going to slot them into these signatures as well. I have grabbed 2 little glassine bags because we are going to use 2 of those. These are just, what are these, 4.5 by 6.5. Anything, you can make your own as well, so don't stress about it too much. I've grabbed a couple of envelopes here. We'll probably be adding a project. We will be adding window envelope project into this as well. All right, so that's that. Okay, let me clear these decks a little bit. Now, if you have a sample of wallpaper, this is wallpaper, then go and grab it. I have just had a look there and I found this. It's botanical looking, but this was a sample from the hardware store a long while back, and I just thought I might use some of that. It looks quite interesting, and I've used it long ago. I used to use a lot of wallpaper, but I think I might just add some in here, just a little revival. Just go to your hardware store. You're allowed to take samples. They often have a sample basket or they have a sample roll, so just ask them about that and take a piece. So there's that. And then I have taken some of these little clips because I think I want to add in little floatable bits onto the pages. So I've got these vintage clips, and they are really handy. And then the last few thingies here, go and grab some stencils. This one is called Leaves and Branch. It is a craft treat stencil. Love that. These are just ones I've had. This one is probably one of my oldest. It's like a pebble. I like using this, especially in a nature theme. There's one that's got like a old oak bark look. This I've had for ages as well. And this is one, I love lace. This is my most used stencil, a ephemera stencil called Lace, and I just love it. It's my favorite. It's going in there. The inks I'm going to use for those are as follows, and I haven't bought anything new. I'm using what I have. Bundled Sage, you can't go wrong. We want a bit of green. I have got fossilized amber because I'm going to make a couple of stampy bits and I wanted something a bit brighter, so that's that one. Use this for the bee journal. Speckled Egg, I love this color, and it's a bit of a French blue. And then we've got Faded Jeans, which we've used before. I think I used this for the little ladies, and those are the ones I'm going to go with. Okay, so I like the Distress Oxide, but if you've got the Distress ink, that's also fine. All right, I have gathered, because I'm going to make a project with these, just these are my old Cuttlebug bits, just embossing folders, just anything. I actually have 2 other lovely Anne Griffin ones. For the life of me I can't find it, but I found this one, Anne Griffin Modern Vines, so that looks quite interesting, and a music one because it is Melodies of Nature. And then last but not least, I've just grabbed these 2. Now I usually use this for autumn, but because this is about woodland, I want to use some of these. I like decorating with these. So this one is called Pressed Foliage. All right, it is on my Amazon favorites. I just put them in these pouches. These are A5 little clear stud wallets, that's what it's called. And then this one is the first one I ever bought, Field Notes. All right, so we will definitely be using that as well. So I'll use the little inks and just do it onto tea stained paper, really. Okay, so there's all your goodies. Lots and lots and lots of homework, but it's pleasurable homework. You're going to have fun, and that goes in there. Right, what have I not told you? Just checking my little list here. I think that's everything. Right, guys, don't forget to go and pick up your freebie in my website shop. It'll come to you as a digital download, and as a digital it's free. Now ladies, if you've bought a printed kit from me, you already have those 3 pages in your kit. I did do this freebie before I launched this kit. I just didn't tell you because I wanted it to come out today. All right, so you do have it. Go and have a look in between your journal pages kit. It is there. All right, so you don't feel left out. I hope that you're having fun with this. Go in and relax. Pour yourself a nice drink, cup of tea if it's not too hot. It's very humid here today. Horrible. Anyway, I looked this up, guys. I just have to tell you, do you know, it has been over 35 days since we've had any rain of more than 1 millimeter. The last rain was 1 millimeter, and that was in June, and we were in August. So yeah, it is very dry, and I've never seen the area I live in looking so brown and taking so much strain. Please can I ask you that if you're living in a dry area, because it's not just here, it's quite many places around the world, please put out water for the birds and little bowl with some pebbles in for the bees. I saw them desperate this morning, trying to get water off what remains on the leaves of plants for dew, and it's so sad. I do have water. I top it up in 2 vicinities every day, and just think of the animals. So yeah, that's my wish request today. Take good care of yourselves. I'll see you on Friday. We can make another start. It's really exciting because I have played around with it and I can't wait to show you what we're going to make on Friday. Stay well. If you haven't picked up the kit and you want to know the details, you can find the links in the description box. Everything is there so that you can have a look at it. I've got the different pages for you to have a look at on my website, and all the details are there as well. If you have any questions at all, drop me an email. That is also in the description box below, and I'll try my best to help you. Stay well, and until Friday, bye bye.